Homicide 1915, the case of 25-year-old Agnes Mary Payne. Agnes Payne was found guilty but insane for the murder of her newly born illegitimate female child. She had been a cook for an Italian family that was staying at 10 Crawford Gardens in Margate, and it was said that she had been there for about 3 months and was unmarried. A nurse that had been with the family for the previous 4 weeks and who had resided at the house later identified the body of the child as the daughter of Agnes Payne. The nurse said that she arrived back at 10 Crawford Gardens on the 29th of August 1915 with the children and had observed some blood outside the lavatory door, and said that when she went into the kitchen she saw Agnes Payne sitting in a chair looking very ill. She said that she gave her some water at her request and then asked her what the matter was, and said that Agnes Payne told her that she was suffering from hemorrhage. The nurse said that she then went to a chemist shop and procured some cotton wool, and after making a communication with her master, she immediately telephoned for a doctor. The nurse said that Agnes Payne then admitted to her that she had had a child and that its body was upstairs, and said that she then admitted to her that she had killed it and asked her to put the body away. The nurse said that when she went to look, she found the body of the child in a parcel and discovered that it was dead, saying that it was terribly mutilated and blood-stained. She later admitted that she had had a slight suspicion as to Agnes Payne's condition. The master of the house, a 57-year-old, said that Agnes Payne came to his employ as a cook on the 3rd of June 1915 whilst they were in London, and that when his family went to Margate they took Agnes Payne with them, and on the 28th of August he was in Margate when his nurse made a communication to him, after which he returned to the house and saw Agnes Payne, who he said looked very ill. He said that he asked her what the matter was and said that she told him that she would be all right in a little time. He said that he suggested that she see a doctor, and that she replied by telling him that she had not seen a doctor and did not wish to see one. He said that at the time that Agnes Payne would have given birth that everyone had been out of the house, and that it wasn't until his cook came back at 1 p.m. that she was found sitting in the kitchen chair looking very weak and ill. The doctor who lived in North Down Road, Cliftonville in Margate, said that he was called out to 10 Crawford Gardens at about 1:30 p.m, where he saw Agnes Payne. He said that when he arrived he found her sat in a chair looking very ill, and that he then ordered her to be carried upstairs and put to bed. He said that after examining her that he found that she had been delivered of a child. He noted that she looked quite rational. He said that he then asked her whether the child had cried at birth, and said that she admitted to him that it had. He said that he then examined the body of the child, which he said had been concealed in a cupboard, which was dreadfully mutilated. The doctor said that he then asked Agnes Payne how the wounds were made, and said that she produced a knife and replied, "With this." The doctor said that he then examined the child and found that it was well nourished and fully timed, and that it had been born alive. He noted that the child had also suffered a great deal of blood loss through the cord, which he said had not been properly tied. It was later heard that the child had no less than 27 cuts, of which several were sufficient to have caused death. He said that he came to the conclusion that the slashes on the child's body had been caused whilst Agnes Payne was in a state of frenzy. He said that the child's throat had been cut in the centre, about 1.5 inches, and that its body was hacked all over with wounds that were several inches long. The doctor then ordered Agnes Payne's removal to the hospital. A medical officer at Minster Infirmary said that he examined Agnes Payne soon after her admission, and that he came to the conclusion that she was not mentally responsible for her actions, and that he thought that at the time of the offence that she had been on the borderline of puerperal insanity. When the doctor was asked about when the condition of puerperal insanity would have arisen, he said that it might have happened immediately before birth, during, or even after an interval of a fortnight or longer. He added that when he examined Agnes Payne that she didn't seem to realise that she had committed any crime. When Agnes Payne was asked at the trial what her answer was to the charge of murdering her child, she said, "Not guilty. I don't remember doing anything. I had no intention of doing anything of the kind." After hearing the evidence, the judge summed up and said that he could not believe that any rational person who had given birth to a child and had wanted to kill it would have cut and slashed it indiscriminately all over the body, head and face. He then told the jury that if they thought that what Agnes Payne had done indicated a condition of mental disturbance or frenzy, and that she had not known what she was doing, that they could find that she was insane at the time. After the jury retired to deliberate in private, they returned a verdict of guilty but insane at the time. The judge then ordered Agnes Payne to be detained during His Majesty's pleasure.